Interesting enough, 4 years after the sudden death of Berlin's celebrity polar bear, Knut, scientists finally know what happened, and they say it could save human lives.
It turns out the 4-year-old bear had a rare autoimmune disease that was recently discovered also in humans.
Well, here with more is Fox News Medical A-Team's Dr. David Samadi. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you.
How is it this cute, cuddly creature that everybody fell in love with, and when it died, everybody was heartbroken, but there's a silver lining? It could save human lives?
Yeah, so this is very famous, as you can see from the pictures. This bear was on the cover of Vanity Fair. And it's very interesting because, for 4 years, we had no clue what's going on. All the scientists in Germany went after this, looked at all the specimens. This was a sudden death, and they usually go on for about 20 years. So this was a big surprise. And finally, what they're coming up with is that some sort of inflammation in the brain was the cause of the death. A lot of times it happens in medicine when we don't know what the etiology is, and we say unknown encephalitis, which is what they label this bear. But recently they find out the very specific autoimmune attack to the brain was the reason for this. Now, why is this interesting? Because we're also finding this in human, and in the last 8 to 10 years, we're finding out that there are cases in human beings that has actually killed some men and women out there.
I don't want to blame the victim here, but is there something about his lifestyle that gave him this disease?
Nothing that we know of. I know you have some personal issue with this polar bears or whatever it is, but nothing that was seen in the history. But the bottom line is this particular disease that we were talking about, which is an attack of the body on the brain, which is called autoimmune encephalitis, is very rare. 1 in 200,000 in men and women we see in human. And we can learn from this, actually.
Because it can be detected with a simple procedure, and all that people really need, you say, is cortisone, and they can pretty much live a normal life.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of causes of this inflammation could be bacterial, could be viral. You can give IV antibiotics or cortisone, exactly what you said, so anti-inflammatory medications. Had we known this, we could have saved this polar bear. So we're using this to learn and hopefully save many human lives.
So I did the back of the math, or back of the envelope math. 1,600 people in America. So it is a very rare.
Extremely rare.
If it happened in 2011 and we're finding out now medically, why did it take 4 years? How are they still looking at the polar bear 4 years later?
Well, what happened was some genius actually went back and looked at all the CSF fluid, and it's the fluid that's around the spine, and they found a very specific antibody against that receptor called NMDA, which nobody looked, and bothered to look at it because it wasn't as important. So they went back 4 years later and say, wait a second, I have the same type of patients in my practice, which is so rare. Let's go back and find out what those specimens looks like. And guess what? That's exactly what killed the patient.
So just to be clear, can we catch this from polar bears?
No, you can't.
Okay, thank
you have nothing.
Okay. Well, we have other things to worry about with polar bears.
They do
eat
a lot of other things, but you're safe.
Somewhere a graduate medical student was doing research on the polar bear 4 years after the incident happened.
It's a long autopsy.
There you go.
Dr. Samadi, thank you.
All right, guys.